Venezuela's violent power struggle has grown more chaotic. The country's top military representative to the U.S. announced Saturday he is now backing opposition leader Juan Guaidó. A number of countries have also thrown their support behind Guaidó after the Trump administration announced last week it recognizes him as Venezuela's interim president. Israel joined that group on Sunday. Several European nations have called on President Nicolas Maduro to hold early elections. Maduro has so far refused and calls the opposition movement a U.S. conspiracy. Guillermo Olmo joins me now on the phone from Caracas, Venezuela. He is the BBC News Venezuela correspondent. Guillermo, thanks so much for joining us. Tell us, what's the latest on the situation in Venezuela right now?
Well, it's been another day of uncertainty here in Venezuela. What we've seen today is that Juan Guaidó showed up again. He attended a Catholic Mass in Caracas, and he again called Nicolas Maduro to step down. And he also called the military forces to stop, as he described, repressing the people's protest. But at the same time, Nicolas Maduro has been visiting a military camp, and he said just the opposite. He said that the military personnel, the armed forces of Venezuela, will stay more loyal than ever to the socialist revolution of this country.
Is that true, or does it seem to be that there are some initial signs that he may not have the full support of the military behind him?
Well, we learned of the defection of the Venezuelan military attaché in the U.S., but so far there hasn't been any significant movement within the military inside the country. It is quite telling that Maduro visited a facility that was where in 2017 some of its troops raised in rebellion against him. And just a few days after this huge crisis sparked, there was another kind of a small-scale rebellion against him. But we haven't heard anyone from the brass claiming that he will support Juan Guaidó as the alternative president of Venezuela.
And I wonder, at this moment, what kind of support is Juan Guaidó getting from the public? We see these images that we're showing our viewers now of Guaidó surrounded by supporters.
Well, there was a huge rally. It was on January 23rd, but after that we haven't seen huge crowds following Juan Guaidó. Actually, he's just appearing, he's just walking around, he's just showing up in specific areas of Chacao. Chacao is a district of Caracas that is well known because it's been a kind of a stronghold for the opposition. I talked today with some of the people of his inner circle, and they told me that he is concerned about his security, and that's why his public appearances are called with such short notice. So, well, I would say there's a wide wish for a change in this country, but actually, before all this started, the opposition, not specifically Guaidó, but the opposition in general, didn't have too much support.
As you know, Guillermo, the United States has made very clear it is supporting Juan Guaidó. Can you just give us a little bit of context? Why is the issue or the prospect of American involvement in Venezuela such a sensitive idea, such a sensitive notion?
Well, in Latin American countries, especially in those where there are socialist systems, the United States don't have the best reputation. The Cuban government and also the Venezuelan government have been blamed for years for being responsible of the what Maduro calls an economic war against Venezuela. So here the government supporters think that the United States has been meddling for too long time in their national issues, and they think that they've been trying to overthrow Maduro through different attempts of coup d'etat for years. There was an attempt in 2002 against Chavez, who was Maduro's predecessor, and there was also a huge wave of protest, and there were also a huge wave of protests in 2014 and 2017 against Maduro. And the government has insisted consistently that the U.S. has been supporting these orchestrated efforts to defeat the revolution. And this is something that the state media are repeating time and again, day after day. So many people here are convinced that this is the real truth.
I wonder if things could get more violent. Do you think, well, first of all, how tense is the situation there? You're in Caracas right now. What is the feeling on the street? Could things get more violent?
Well, this is actually one of the most violent countries in the world, and the political situation is now so tense. But it's not as it was in 2017 or in 2014. We've heard of reports of shootings, and we heard of reports of clashes between the security forces and people of Caracas. But these were small-scale protests, especially in the most poorest areas of the city. So there were shootings in the slums surrounding Caracas. And Juan Guaidó referred to this today, and he said that he called to the security forces to stop repressing the people and killing people protesting against the government. But this might be showing a turning point, because these areas used to be government strongholds. These areas where the people most support the revolution and the government. So if the government is losing the support of these people, it might be indicating that something is about to change. But it's very difficult to foresee, actually.
All right, Guillermo Olmo, thank you very much, Guillermo. Appreciate it.